Okay then guys, we are back and we've got loads to go over today as we need to give you guys a update to your major order. We've also got a new personal order and the store's been updated. We've had some changes going to the back end of the game with SteamDB having some new updates over the last few days which lead to some very interesting things. The TCS seems to be back in the game, which is a very odd one, and we've got some issues happening with the melee movement. Yeah, apparently the flag can't take out a charger, but it can take out our own stuff. We're going to take a look into everything you guys need to know today. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button, subscribe with post notifications turned on, it'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And right now we have our own tinned alternative, so make sure you check it all out. Links in the description. Use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. And if you want to get involved with that giveaway, then it is very, very simple. Just go down to the comment section and put in a yellow heart as we need to get over to the terminus and take out those bloody things. That'll be announced in just a few days. With that being said, let's dive into the game and see what it is that's happening right now in Helldivers 2. So starting off, we're going to take a look at the Galactic War map because we've got some interesting stuff happening. As of right now, the major order seems to be a very decent move. We're 70% of the way into the 30 million rare samples on the Gen Z sector. And while we're looking at that one, we've also got to make sure we're holding Turing and Aknar Secundus. As far as Turing, it seems to be safe right now as we managed to secure Akmar 4, and that has obviously meant that Turing is now safer from any attacks. When we take a look at the Aknar Secundus, though, unfortunately, it seems that there is now an attack on it. So for the next day in 10 hours, we need to be defending big time because it has the factory hubs on there, and that is something that we need to be able to get into the gloom using the technology that they have in hand. Overall, there has been an increased level in the spore burst scavengers over on Aknar Secundus, so make sure that you are careful and make sure that you remember that there is an issue with the flames happening at the moment so that it's not affecting the main spore bursts pretty much at all right now, so maybe go in with absolutely anything else other than fire. When we take a look at your personal order right now, though, you have to extract from successful mission 3 times, which while you're hunting for those rare samples should be pretty easy. And while we take a look at the superstore, we've now just recently had it updated for the next 48 hours, which means that the warrant is now available yet again. This is going to be something you want dramatically to take out those shriekers on the Terminid sector. For me personally, it's pretty much an everyday thing. I use this every time I go into the bugs now. Just seems to be the best way forward for me personally. So go ahead and grab hold of that one. But taking a look into the back end, there has been some updates made to the game's system files, as we can see here via the history of the game the last 10 hours ago. And yesterday alone, there was so many different things. But even though they're on holiday, there seems to be some alterations being made over the last few days overall. This listing goes on for ages, and it seems that this last week, there's been a lot happening to the game in the back end that we didn't even really know about. Are they trying to throw us off, or is there some people actually making some changes so that on Tuesday, the day after they return from holiday, we may actually receive an update? I'm really hoping so because the game is really, really needing one right now. It's in a bit of a bad position, so fingers crossed that actually pans out okay. But also, inside of the game right now, it seems that some things are going wrong. This is hilarious because, yes, we've got the Terminid control silos back in the game, or at least it looks that way. There's been numerous posts on Reddit with regards to the TCS returning back into the game and being a selectable mission, although what we are finding is that you will crash straight after selecting it. That just says to me that there's some back-end problems, and the likelihood is that it's not actually being re-put into the game. There's probably been a bit of a crossover point on it. Although it would be quite interesting to see how that pans out, because now the Terminid strain is actually moving out of the gloom, so maybe we think it's a good idea to put the TCS back up. I bloody hope not, man, because I don't need another Meridia storyline. I don't know about you. I can't take another planet that we absolutely adored being crushed into a ginormous black hole and then more things coming back through it to ruin our day. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this, and if you've actually seen the TCS missions come back. It's a very interesting one because it was one of my favorite missions inside of the game to date after the last year and a half. Moving forward after that, though, we've got to talk about this because this has been something that has been peeving people off quite a lot. We've had a recent change to melee, which means that now the melee weapons don't really affect much in terms of damage output, and you can't actually do much damage on a charger at all. We used to be able to take out its legs, and now we can't do anything. But what we can do is we can plant it in top of the mech and cause damage to blow it up. This was obviously found by Pickled Asbestos. This was an annoying one, to say the least, because we can take out our machine-enforced armored tanks that are, well, essentially built to just blow things up left, right, and center, but yet we can't take out a bug with it. It makes no sense to me at all, and it's a bit of a frustrating movement. If we're going to have it good for one, we can have it good for both. No, that's just my personal opinion. And people are struggling right now, as apparently an in-game intended feature is that the warp pack can get you into the bunkers, although apparently people are struggling with actively getting into them. There has been a bit of a move where you will just use your warp pack and just bounce off the front of the door on it, and it's been a bit of an annoyance. But actually, apparently, if you do dive and then put your warp pack, it will put you straight in. It's a little bit frustrating because it was an intended feature. Alexis has already mentioned it, so this shouldn't be a problem, but unfortunately we're seeing this quite often at the moment where intended features don't seem to be working properly. We've got around a month left until the Xbox recruits actually make their way in, and the last thing that we want is what happened to PlayStation. The game launches, something goes wrong, and the entire player base just drops off. So if they could get this game fixed up by that time, I'm going to be really, really happy with it, because I think that if they don't, we could be just getting a load of new players in for them to dip straight off as soon as they get in afterwards. It could be a really frustrating issue, and we've seen this a few times before with the game, so hopefully we don't see it this time round. Overall, though, the game seems to be in a weird spot right now, and it has been for the last few weeks. Normally, this is how the game goes, though. We hit massive troughs, and then once we hit that bottom point, the development team decide to just pull their finger out the rear end and actually start doing some really good for the community. Once that actually happens, the game hits all new highs. We are due a new update, hopefully soon, so fingers crossed, man, we get something good out of this, because right now I'm kind of getting a little bit tired of just reporting problem after problem after problem, and it just seems to be a consistent issue that's happening. In our last video, we actually reported that the bugs were broken, a pointless booster, and we went over the idea of a laser sniper rifle, and you guys had a lot to say in the comment section below. We're going to go through your top comments right now, and if you want to get involved for the next one, then make sure you hit the comment section of this video, put something relative to what we've spoke about, and the top voted will make its way into the next video. This first one right here states, is anyone else glitching hardcore? The game will randomly just pause for me like I'm lagging out before coming back to. This has been happening to me quite a lot actually over the last 3 days, which is obviously telling that they are definitely fiddling with the back end, because for some reason, just partway through the game, I will just freeze for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then it will continue. To the point where we were streaming and they thought that the stream was actually lagging. It wasn't, it was just the game causing a bit of a nightmare. This next one right here states the spore bugs have adapted to seriously lag the game, which, yes, again, we're seeing that issue quite a lot, and it's been a real big problem. The stability on this game right now is just really not holding down the fort, and it's kind of getting a little frustrating as a lot of people are now starting to drop off. And this final comment states right here, honestly, the boosters in general need an overhaul. A lot of them are useless, many of them are niche, and a few of them are basically mandatory. Also, all 4 infinite ammo weapons, I don't care if they suck, I want it. Oh, and finally, another thing I really, really want them to look at is the airstrike DSS action. I actively hate it. It doesn't hit at good angles on enemies often enough to offset the fact that it will shoot at an enemy near you and kill you regardless of the fact that the enemy is already dead. Now, this is where they'll kind of argue back with this. It's kind of a bit of a difficult one, because the realistic movement, and yes, Alexis is probably smiling ear to ear right now, but the realistic movement is that they're not going to be able to overly tell exactly where you are on the floor, as you're not throwing down stratagems for this. They're just shooting them from overhead. It seems to be a bit of a nightmare, yes, but I do think that it makes a good impact. I would prefer it if it didn't team kill every 20 seconds, so that would be lovely, but I don't see it changing very much anytime soon. That's just my personal opinion. Nonetheless, though, that's unfortunately all we've got time for today, guys. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.